We had a really exciting day yesterday because of our friends at Amaze Holding. Aaron Day is the CEO of Amaze, their ticker symbol AMZE, and he joins us now via Zoom. Lots of great stuff happening with that company, but yesterday we announced a collaboration with our company, Sully Entertainment Group and Loft 100 Studios, with Amaze to create Amaze's Creator Content Studio. Boy, that was a big deal, man. And I kind of kept it quiet here with the people around here. But
yeah, I learned about it in the press release that came in my Google alert.
Well, Aaron and I have been talking.
I was a little worried about that.
Aaron and I actually started talking about this literally the second day he was on the air, and he'd come into the studio and thought to himself, wait a second, there's a fit here because, and I'll let you explain, if you haven't heard the story, I'll let Aaron explain it in a second in terms of what they do. But Amaze helps content creators grow their businesses. And what I'm talking about is there's people that are selling everything from George Foreman grills to Sharpies to chapstick to skincare products. There are millions of them online, and they get a little chunk of everything they sell. At the same time, they're creating a footprint for themselves, and Amaze makes that happen. Talk about what you guys do, and talk about how great it's going to be for these guys to be able to use a facility that's kind of turnkey for them.
Yeah, so happy Thanksgiving early to both of you. Good to see you both.
You too.
To you.
I'm hoping we're going to discuss what we're drinking a little bit here later too, so we have a little bit more fun, right? But anyways, so as we've talked about before on your show, Amaze helps creators that are integrated with the major social platforms like YouTube and Twitch and TikTok create e-commerce and selling experiences, all over the world, connecting with their fans, no matter where they are, right? And one of the growing challenges for creators who are either professional creators or semi-professional creators, people who want to do this for their career, for their living, for their lifestyle, is getting proper access to professional recording studios and equipment, right? And I've just been, every time I've come down to your studio and I've watched the team, the systems, the excitement, just the capabilities you have, Sully. Now that we are able to, in Southern California, bring some of those facilities to some of our creators in a bit more automated way, it's just really exciting for me, right? Because I think you're going to see a whole new level of content come out from these people who are typically used to recording content on their phones or in their garages and makeshift studios, right? So I'm super excited about this, bringing a level of professionalism to a group of our creators that just are ready to blow the roof off, right? They're doing super well, and let's just give them a bit more access to the right technology, right?
And the other piece of it too is, you guys have sort of the recipe, the template for these folks to get out to the universe. But now, as I said, instead of having it look like it's done in their closet.
Well, that can be daunting for people. Is the right camera, the right lighting, the right setup, the right audio? Because audio can break a video completely if you don't have the right sound. So, I mean, I think it's definitely a great fit because we take that stress away from people.
Hey, let's talk about your platform overall here. You guys, it's interesting how you guys, if you go on their website, all the fingers you guys are in, and not just they all work interactively together. But talk about some of the other stuff that you guys are doing, because it's really interesting. If you go to the website, you see different categories.
Yeah, so it's been a pretty fun year too, because we've added a lot of new stuff. So we've got it's called the Cast app, KAST app, and that is it started off as a live watch party app during COVID, and now it's expanded into a live shopping app. So the beautiful thing about that is it gives you the ability to host a live party, interact with a large group of fans live, both via video and chat, and now you can actually shop it. So if you think about what you do on TikTok Shop or on maybe Whatnot platforms like that, you can actually do that now in one of our apps, host a live watch party and a selling experience. So that's a beautiful thing we have, doing really, really well. We've also launched Digital Fits, which is our first product in Roblox, which allows all these millions of users in Roblox to create their own personal digital, people call them skins or digital apparel. What's magical about that, and this is where I'll talk about my 9-year-old son. So my 9-year-old son's in Roblox every day playing. He's created his own avatars and the apparel. But within 1 second, my son can actually click a button And now those really robust
cool.
pieces of apparel my son's created can now be sold as physical products.
No
So if you
way.
see his friends and what they're doing, they're actually wearing the apparel that they created in the digital gaming platform, right? So another way to help the next generation of kids become creators and monetize, right?
And entrepreneurs, that's so cool.
Yeah, 100%. And they are. You've watched what they're creating, and now you see them and all his little buddies wearing the same shirt. Well, you take that and you multiply that by millions of kids doing this. It's amazing. And then I think we talked about this last time, but the Moments AI we launched a few weeks ago with Perez Hilton, Moments AI, and really what that's about, like our company at its core is built to help the up and coming creator, right? The creator who's getting started, having a little bit of success. And what we've noticed a lot this year is that there's just these moments when something starts to trend. You hit something, it triggers an algorithm, or all of a sudden you go viral and you're not ready for it, right? All of a sudden it happens and it takes you days or weeks to get your products built and launched and your store built. By the time you get your whole business in front of the audience, it may be too late. So Moments is about like us using AI to capture those trends and immediately give you something extra, new products, new designs, based off what we're seeing from your trends, and let you start to monetize immediately. So within minutes you're monetizing versus days you're monetizing.
You know, what's interesting about that is that if you think in terms of, when you're talking about this, I start thinking in terms of the creator economy, the content creator economy. Don't you just get the feeling, and even look, I mean, the market loved that press release yesterday. You get the feeling that this could be the tip of the spear, because we're not watching commercials on television as much anymore. Terrestrial TV and radio are still the king of media. However, that's changing very rapidly. I can't tell you the last time I spent more time watching a television. It was football season, but then again, I'm now online, and it's commercial free. So somehow we need to be fed this information on what the next latest greatest is. I think this content creator content, I don't think we know what we don't know at this point. It's a huge economy right now. I think you guys have opened the door to where this is a whole game changer in terms of how advertising's done.
Yeah, and the U.S. is very far behind here. I mean, if you go to the rest of the world, you go to China, you go to Southeast Asia, you go to Europe, it's already way more advanced. So we're rapidly seeing cultural changes in the United States that are going to just make this thing grow into a much bigger space than it already is, Sully. It's how people buy things in China. So
Wow.
and it's because they were able to leapfrog a whole bunch of traditional. Look, you didn't have all the retail networks, you didn't have all the distribution channels, right? They just went direct to consumer in a much better way, and that's what's happening here in the U.S.
You know, I can't let you out of here without talking about your massive Q4 balance sheet cleanup. How is that going? How are you doing on your sort of major efforts ending in 2025, and what does that lead into 2026?
Yeah, so thanks for asking that, and it's been the biggest grind. So when you can imagine, when a private company merges with a public company, and you go public, there's a whole bunch of stuff that has to get cleaned up, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that you have to communicate to investors in a much cleaner way, right? So we, as everyone knows, we merged on June 12th. I took over as the public company CEO on June 13th of this year, and the first thing I told my team is that we are going to finish this year with a balance sheet that represents who we are as a company and our culture, right? We're going to clean up the mess of the public company, get it in a much better shape, so that we can go into 2026 and be very proud about it. We have done massive work, and what we are working on now is, as we go into December, the last month of Q4, is starting to give a little bit of a foreshadow of what's coming and what investors can expect when they see the full Q4 reports in early 2026. What I will tell you as a little sneak peek is that we've reduced overall the liabilities and the AP and the debt of the company by over 60% in Q4. And the company will have a balance sheet going into 2026 that really is set up to allow us to throttle everything at full speed and really show the capabilities of the company, and just be past this weight on our shoulders from the sort of the cleanup required to go public and merge into a public company, right? So it's very exciting, Sully, and my team has done an amazing job and really working through this. And we just now need to let the markets understand what we've done.
Well, sure, and I think that's certainly happening. And I think the other piece of this too is what a little infotainment for our viewers and our listeners is that when you clean up your balance sheet, it's the age-old adage. Banks and financing doesn't come when you need it. It needs to come when you don't need it, as well as when you need it. And you can't do that without a clean-up balance sheet. That balance sheet opens the door for so much financing, so much capital formation. It's a roadblock for many companies that you've just removed completely. It's like the analogy I can give you is like when you're fully employed, you're debt-free, and you got an 800 credit score. Is much different than when you're not employed, you're in a gig economy, you got a 600 credit score, and you're trying to get a credit card. I mean, I know that's simplistic, but for people that don't understand really how important that balance sheet thing is, that was one of the biggest things to do, aside from your business model. Don't you agree?
100%. And look, as I've told you privately, every day we get somebody coming across wanting us to buy them because of our distribution capabilities. People, much bigger companies than ours know that if they put their company, their products, their solutions in our distribution, they're going to do much better because we've built this massive top of funnel engine. But the conversations stop immediately if your balance sheet's not clean, right? No one wants to come in if you're dealing with a company that has a lot of liabilities overhanging the business, right? So we took the approach. It was going to be very painful for a few months, but let's get it cleaned up faster, better, go into 2026 with all these sort of impediments behind us, right? And we did it. You just can't know how much excitement we have as a company that we're going to enter 2026 with a business that is in so much better shape than it was over the last 6 months, right? It's healthy, it's energized, it's got cash on the books, it's well funded now, so it's just in a much better position, and I expect that to drive a lot of success in 2026.
Do you think that we're going to see with the content creation economy to where folks are amalgamating these channels? Let's just say that out loud. Home Shopping Network, QVC. If those had ratings to them when they were popular, they would have been as popular as any primetime television show on network television. Do you think there's going to be an amalgamation where these folks are, as opposed to one-offs, where people can sort of watch, pick and choose? Like, I remember NFL Sunday Ticket's pretty good because I got 6 games going on at the same time. Yeah. Is something like that the next step? Because I think there's going to be a voracious appetite for this. As you said, the U.S. is behind.
Yeah, I think let's use sports as an analogy, right? So, you've got the full swing of Major League Basketball, Major League Hockey, Major League Football, all going on right now. You've got the full swing of some of the best college sports out there right now. You've got the end of the seasons for all of the high school sports, the football season, things like that, the soccer. And then you have all these niche sports like pickleball and all that kind of stuff coming up right now. People, one, they want to develop their skills. They want to learn. They're watching more content. They want to see what their favorite players are doing. They want to see what their favorite players are wearing. They want to see how their favorite players are living, what their lifestyle looks like, right? And we want to do that at scale. And we want to be able to participate and buy what they're wearing, what they're sharing immediately, right? You don't want to have to watch your favorite athlete see a pair of shoes, see a pair of a T-shirt or whatever he might be wearing, and then say, hey, where do I go find that? I want to buy it. I want to have it now. I want to walk into see my friends at a party tomorrow and have that on, right? So it is changing rapidly, and I think that the entire world knows that it's coming at a pace that is just rapid. I think you and I were talking about this. I saw a little press release that even people like Walmart are starting to open up little mini creator studios inside of the retail stores, right? Why are they doing that? They're doing that because they want the influence of these creators promoting products in their stores, right? That's why this announcement yesterday that we did together about bringing the first studio experience to our creators with your Loft 100 studio setup, it just is amazing because there's a need. There's a huge pent-up need for it. And I'm very excited about it.
This gives an opportunity also for us to have a 365-day-year creator confessional that you guys did prior. We can create a creator confessional.
Look at Mary's face. Mary's like, I'm not part of this. I'm not.
Actually, no, but that reminds me. Earlier, you said that you were chatting with Perez Hilton. Did I hear that correctly?
Oh yeah, it's all over the website.
First of all, I need to know inside gossip he told you. But secondly, I want to know, you know, because he doesn't have necessarily a platform where he's selling merchandise.
But he's a brand in and of itself.
Right, he's a brand. So talk about that a little bit, how he can utilize, you know, are people coming to him to sell their products and use him like an influencer, or is he creating his own merch, or how does somebody like that in the space use your platform?
Yeah, so Perez has 3 active stores right now, all powered by Amaze, and they're different sets. There's what's trending for him on social media. There is his sort of fun apparel for going out at nighttime, and then there's sort of his products that are basically, you know, just sort of making fun, making light of different things that are happening in the world today, right?
I love it.
I'm sure if we wanted to, we could get Perez on stage with you, Mary.
We'd love to get him in the studio.
I want that so badly.
Me and Mike, of course, will be off that day because Mary will have a whole hour with the guy.
Yeah, I need to pop culture gossip with him.
And, you know, he still has millions and millions of followers, and we're also talking to him about a cooking show. You know, he wants to launch his own cooking show on Food Channel, so we're having conversations about that, which would be quite fun.
Cool.
I'm not sure how good of a cook he is, but you know, he's interested in it, right?
So that's
we'll
good.
see.
Aaron's going to be in studio here
Great.
I think in a week or two.
Hurry up.
We'll get to spend some time with Aaron. Thanks so much, brother. Good to talk to you. Glad to have you as a partner. AMZE. Go to their website. Powering the future of commerce, 137 million creators in 163 countries.